welcome to Revsportz. I'm Gargi Raut. I'm here in Melbourne. The Ashes is back, and every year, every Ashes series produces villains and heroes and the rivalries that live forever. And this year, one familiar nemesis is back, which is Jofra Archer. It's been more than 4 years since Archer last bowled in a test match. It was against England and it was against India in England, and he put up a show. 4 years of surgery, 4 years of setbacks and 4 years of doubt for the bowler. Many wondered if he would ever play red ball cricket again, but now he's here, he's fit, he's firing and ready to write a new chapter. And for Australia, that must be a terrifying thought because Archer's last Ashes was unforgettable. His spell at Lord's in 2019, where he floored Steve Smith with a brutal bouncer, changed the entire series. It wasn't about wickets, it wasn't about, it was about the aura that Jofra Archer brings. Suddenly, Australia's best player looked human. Suddenly, the entire Australian dressing room looked rattled. That's the impact that Jofra Archer can have. He changes the entire atmosphere of a match. Look at what he did against India. When he walked in, everything completely changed. In the first over, he changed the game. And this time, the conditions might be even more suited to him. The first two tests are in Perth and Brisbane, pitches made for fast bowling, extra bounce, extra pace, conditions where Archer's hostility could be devastating. Australia know how hard it was facing Jasprit Bumrah last summer. In similar conditions, Archer brings that same menace with the added history of being Australia's Ashes nightmare. Of course, the caveat is his fitness. Can Archer last 5 grueling tests in Australia? That remains the great unknown, but even if he plays only 1 or 2 or even 3 matches, his impact could be decisive. Mark Taylor said it the best, that Archer will be handful, and if he finds rhythm, he will, he stays on the park, then Australia's unsettled top order could be in for a summer of pain. Every Ashes needs its storyline. Archer's comeback after India now against the nation that he already scarred might just be the one that defines 2025.
Just about 24 hours away from the start of the most decorated test series in the world of cricket, that is the Ashes. It has its own history, obviously a lot of history, right from the days of Reinald Brooks to 82 Ashes, 82-83 Ashes, Ivo Bly, the Larwoods, the Jardins, the Billoses, Ponsford, Bradman, Woodfull to modern times. But let us leave that for the time being. Let us concentrate on present times as England are touring Australia for a 5-match test series. So what are the key matchups? What are the key fast bowlers? The bowlers from both sides? Let us go one by one. Obviously, when you think about England, you look at Jofra Archer. This fast bowler obviously has had 5 elbow surgeries, procedures, but he's fit now, and England would be looking forward to him doing well on what promises to be some spicy tracks in Australia. See, he has his strengths against left-handers from round the wicket. He has the ability to straighten a few, occasionally nip it back, mostly leave the left-hander. So it would be interesting to see how he goes up against someone like Travis Head. From round the wicket, maybe he will go slightly wider of the crease, create that angle, and hopefully a few will straighten on the angle, and that could trouble Travis Head. Yes, there is one more batter that we have to talk about. There is Alex Carey. Actually, he goes under the radar. Again, from round the wicket, you can trouble him, creating that little bit of inward angle. If you can get that little more bounce, that kick that Archer gets, he could trouble Alex Carey. So, and yes, one more left-hander we have to talk about, that is Usman Khawaja. I almost forgot him. See, he's someone who is having a lot of problems against that round the wicket angle. So, Archer again can look to exploit that, and even from over the wicket he can open up Khawaja on the defense and look to force him to edge one to the wicket keeper or the slip corner. So here we can also, as a subset, look at Archer's strengths. See someone who stands very tall at the crease. He's someone who makes full use of his 6 feet frame. I don't think his release point can be higher, and if you look at his front leg, it's very braced. It doesn't collapse at all. I think that is how he makes full use of his 6 feet frame, and he has that nth moment flick of the wrist. Somewhere he seemed to have lost it in 2025, but I think he has got it back. So all these factors make this hip dominant fast bowler someone who gets that little bit of extra kick. They also have Mark Wood. I think they have put full faith in this fast bowler. Yes, it would be interesting to see how he goes on those Australian grounds. He's coming back from an injury. He has had a hamstring problem already during the Australian tour, and he's 36 as well. So, but England have full faith, full trust in his fitness. See, his main strength is someone, I think, a very spirited fast bowler. Gives every ounce of his energy, every ball. Is quick, hits the deck hard. Though he's not the tallest fast bowler going around, so he may not get the bounce. But yes, he's someone who you expect to summon quick spells. There's also Bryden Cars, a big-hearted fast bowler, a tall fast bowler. He and someone like Mark Wood may combine to really bowl a few short pitch deliveries at Steve Smith and try to entice him to play the pull stroke or the hook stroke. Both of them are good at bowling the nip backer, as is Jofra Archer. So all these three fast bowlers will be coming into the equation against Steve Smith, or at least the England camp will hope so. And then there is Ben Stokes. I think his strength again is about to go round the wicket to left-handers, create that angle. Not see his release point is not exactly like Joe Strong, in the sense that it's not exactly 11 o'clock release, but still is someone who can create that awkward angle from round the wicket, get it to come back into the left-hander, and maybe for a few to straighten. It is something that you can do it against right-hander as well. If you go back in history, that is something that Courtney Walsh used to do a lot, and used to get a lot of wickets because of that. So Ben Stokes definitely will come into the equation against Australia's left-handers and a couple of the right-handers as well. It would be interesting to note actually how he goes about his business against Manus Labuschagne, because he has been edging quite a few deliveries outside off in the recent past. And if Ben Stokes can get a few to straighten or just move it away from the right-handed Labuschagne from that wide angle, he could definitely come into the picture. That is about England's pace attack, because in the 12-man squad they have not selected Joe Strong, who is someone who could have created those awkward angles with this 11 o'clock release, and it's a tall fast bowler, gets bounced, but England don't seem to have much faith in his control. So let's briefly also look at Australia's pace attack. Yes, Pat Cummins and Hazelwood are out due to injuries. That is unfortunate from Australia's setup point of view, but they have Brendan Doggett. He could make his debut, or Australia could look at two all-rounders, seam bowling all-rounders. If he makes his debut, what could be his main strength? See, someone who, again, is a tall fast bowler, not exactly hit-the-deck fast bowler, more of a seam bowler, quintessential old-school Australian seam bowler, in the sense that he looks to bowl a little more fuller than what you have seen with Australian fast bowlers, seamers from the last 2 or 3 decades, especially since McGrath started to succeed as a fast bowler. So we look to bowl fuller. It's a good surprise short ball, it's decent pace. So it could be a double-edged sword, especially against an England batting lineup that is expected to play aggressively. But if he gets it right, he could come into the picture while bowling to the likes of Zach Raveley and Oli Pope, because both of them like to play on the up. Someone like Oli Pope, he has those quirky hands, and that could result in him edging Delvries outside off, whereas Zach Gravely looks to play right on the up and hits through the line. So that is a little bit about Doggett. There is also Scott Bolland. I think a lot has been talked about him. See, he's a really impressive line bowler, someone who has that wobble seam. Sometimes that wobble seam can really hoodwink the right-hand batter, and he has a sort of action where the arms are moving everywhere. I think that can kind of create that, what can you say, sow the seeds of doubt in the right hand batter's head, simply because he's not able to decipher whether Boland is trying to get the ball to move away a little bit, or ball is stock delivery, the nip packer. So that is about Scott Boland. I think he could really trouble a lot of those English right-handers who seem to nick deliveries on a good length, on a back of a length. Yes, there is also Mitchell Stark, the veteran, but what to say, I think a lot has been talked about his swing, his ability to bowl at good pace, and he has also developed that three-quarter seam. I think that three-quarter seam, wobble seam, has definitely extended his test career, because he has that away going delivery now against a right hand batter. But he definitely would have really benefited from having Pat Cummins or Hazelwood at the other end, because they give that control alongside hitting the deck hard and pushing the right handers and left handers back, and then Stark would have gone fuller. But they don't have those two experienced fast bowlers. So the onus will be on Stark to lead from the front, and the Australian think tank will have full faith in him. So that is about it, about the two attacks, pace attacks, England and Australia. Yes, you can now say that I have not touched upon Nathan Lyon. See, this veteran off spinner has, what to say, is someone who has succeeded over a period of time, and is basically the Bacha of overspin. So he does that time and again, and that is how he gets a lot of wickets in Australian conditions. So that is about it, about the two attacks, including Nathan Lyon from Australia. So thank you for taking our time out. Hopefully, in a few days' time, we will again meet with another episode on Cricket Chat. Thanks again.